Hello friends, welcome to Intuites.
Let's begin the class.
Now, if I want to use just like a select star from here, the select star from my sample, I can use it now, right? So you just give me the data in a Sparkle, right? So you know how to get the result from here, right?
Yes, Sunil.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. Now let's try to understand basically what is called a managed table. Managed table is something like normal one, like how you are creating the tables, right? In traditional SQL, like create table name, then this, and all the other column name, data type, all these things, right? So those are it's an example of a managed table. And directly we can write it, the create table name, and the column name definition you define that you can do it. Or the another way also we can do it like from a select statement. Suppose I have a table already, and from there I want to just create a separate table, then I can also do that. So that belongs to the category of a managed table. What is the managed table here? In the managed table, it is managed in the sense the data and the metadata both managed by you or who creates that or who's the owner for that. So somehow if the table got dropped or got deleted, then you are losing the data along with the metadata as well. Okay, so that's what the managed table is all about. It's very simple table. Okay, doesn't matter what is exactly. We can try it out once. Let's see. So what I will do here in the sense, I have my circuit final DF. Do I have a circuit view? Let's check this. That is there. Yeah, it is there. So what I will do here in the sense, I already have a circuit view. Okay. So from here, what I will do, I will create a table. Create table. Then this underscore results SQL underscore managed. It's just a creating a table, and as from here, select star from the global team circle view G. That's it. So now whatever the view I already have, from there we are just creating a managed table, and this is the way. Simple. Okay, you can write your own code as well, like the create table, table name, all this stuff. But this is another way also you can create your managed table. Simple. Okay. Now let's try to execute this. Okay. So whatever is just now created, that is called your managed table in the sense. So let me try to access this. It will be the simple one only. Okay. So you are getting the table. Now, if you drop this table, then you are losing everything in the sense that you know that. Like normally, if you delete this table, like I will say percentage equal, then I will say normal command drop table. Then let's take this table. So what will happen? It will just delete it out, right? As simple as that. Done. we are dropping it now. If you're trying to access, you will not get anything from here, right? So this is the normal, always the table structure would be, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I will need to do here in the sense, then I will try to create an external table. Okay. So let's take the same thing. I will create another sample table here. But this time I will do an external table. What is this external table? We will try to understand here. Okay. So let's take, I would say this is as select star from this one. Okay. Anyway, this will be the my underline statement, and instead of managed, I say external. In the external, when you are creating it, or normally we use another terminology that we will store this metadata into particular location. Okay, so into a particular location. Why we will do it? Let's see. So I will say using. Just try to understand this. Okay, so I will say my location. Okay, is space, and I have a mount point, right? So let's understand this mount point is where. Hmm, mount points are, just hold on. What are the mount points we have is in our total curriculum here? Do you have any idea on this? Just hold on.
Yes, to read the data from the Azure Data Lake Storage.
That was not the question. I was saying what is the mount point I have? Okay, let's say this is one of the mount point, right? So I have a presentation for. Go to my workspace, give a project data injection, and where I was working. So it's like that. And here in the location, okay, so I'm putting a presentation here. Okay, then let's take this is start external, and which format I want to use, using a Parquet format. Let's take. Okay, so it's time. There's an error here. Just
Do we need to specify this parquet and location in the above? Because that is the table, right? Create table. Okay.
that's what we are doing in external table, right? External. I will explain you why I am doing it. Could not. Value. Let me execute this and null check. Error is there. Okay. So it's saying that syntax error using Parquet. Oh, let me otherwise create a basic table here. Then I will come to that. So picture, where can It will work now. Let me create a very basic table here. I have an ID and name. What I'm doing it here is that I am giving, apart from creating the table, does you know that? Okay. So apart from creating the table, I am giving one location. What does it mean exactly? Why it is required? Just see that. So what I have done is I am giving a location in the my presentation folder on the my mount points, and I've given the name called res results equal external with the same table name. Whatever the table name I have given another one, and that will store as a external or it's a Parquet format. Let's see. That's it. The only thing is this part I am changing it when I am doing an external file. Right? So let's execute this. Hmm, where okay, well good. Now this is got created. That's fine. Any questions? This two line, sixth and seventh line, I will explain you. But apart from that, any questions are in this part of the code I have written?
No.
Okay. Now let's try to insert some records here. Insert into my list. That is one. Simple. I'm just creating a very basic record on. Okay. Insert into this one the values. Fine. Now if I say percentage SQL and access select from my device result external. We'll get it. Okay, so that's fine. We are getting it. So this is very basic thing. But why we have given this information on my presentation? For that, let's go to the Azure Storage Explorer and try and understand from there. So just expand your storage. Then your blob containers, then in the presentation folder. This is the way we have given the path, right? You see, I have given the project to presentation only. So there is a folder called res visual external got created, right? If you just double click on this, there is a partition file got created. What does it hold exactly? It holds the actual data whatever there in my table right now. Whatever I will insert there, it will create in this one. This holds the metadata rather than the data, right? So whatever I have created, the ID is integer, name is varchar, right? So what is the advantage of the external table? Suppose somehow you drop this table or it accidentally got deleted, right? So we have already placed the metadata into this path, into my presentation. From there, I can recover the file, or from there I can create my another external table or another table out of that. So what are the difference between these two? The normal one, when you are creating the table, if you are dropping it, you are losing the data along with the metadata as well, because I don't have information about that. But in case of the external table, what will happen is While creating the table, we are giving a path where you are storing the metadata. Okay, suppose accidentally the table got deleted, still we have the structure available on this location. From there, we can read in a packet format and we can create our global temp view or local temp view out of that, and we can start working on that. Is that making sense to you?
Yes.
Right. So this is the one of the questions will come up. What is the advantage of my external table over the managed table? So managed table is managed in the sense it will be the data and the metadata managed by you. But in case of external table, uh, the the data will be managed by you, but the metadata we can keep it. And this information, right? We are storing locally. In the sense in our storage we can use it, but this metadata can be stored in an external file as well. Suppose client has given one path, there you can keep it as well also, if the mount point is there for that. So what will happen, so whenever you want to recover from there, you can just create it. Now you can use your create temp view, global view from this information. You can do that. Okay, is it make sense?
Yes.
Now, under the Spark, this is the main thing which is available, and I showed you how to create table views, what is managed table, what is external table. Along with this, on the Spark SQL, I will give one exercise. I don't know whether you guys need to come. We can complete. I don't know because I don't know. I'm not receiving any update from you guys. I don't know what exactly you are doing, but still, all the concept, whatever we have in the SQL Server, it means aggregation, group by, Windows function, then subqueries, joins I think we discussed. Everything is same whatever you have done in the SQL Server. Just you need to just practice it. Just creating a basic two tables, do the aggregation, group by, Windows function, lead, lag, all those things. I completely thoroughly discuss. I will give an example. You can just do a practice. So this is overall about your Spark SQL. Very basic. If you are good at SQL, Spark SQL is very easy. There is nothing. Make sense? Because I don't want to like waste time here because we know this all these things. Unnecessary, I will write the sum count group by having all these things because you know that already. Make sense?
Yes, Samir.
So basically, these are the steps we need to cover up along with the assignment and along with another assignment also. The 7 ingestion file. I don't know where you guys are there. So, so this is the way. Okay. So once this is done, I think I will start the ADF now along with the incremental load, how you are loading the data. Then the last topic of the Azure Database will be the Unity catalog. I think 3-4 classes will be done with the Azure Database. Then I will cover up the Azure Synapse. Then I think we will be done with your course. Okay. So if you are lagging, please complete it and come back. Okay. Make sense?
Yes. Samir, managing table where it stores, where it's stored. Is it in the Hive store?
No, in this mount point, what are the path we have given? No,
This one is for
storing
the,
is fine.
this one is for the
Ah, no,
external.
no, no. Storage will be on the Hive meta store only, but the metadata we are giving another location that we will be storing the metadata. Why? To recover it later. So that's the path. Wherever path you given it, that will store. But internally, the table will be get created on the Hive meta store only.
That
The
means
metadata.
both managed and external tables both will get created under the Hive store only, and we
Correct.
are specifying the location for the external. This is only for the
The
metadata.
metadata. Exactly. So if you see the select star from the external table, it is the same way we are managing the internal. The only difference is suppose somehow this table got dropped, then we have a choice of have the all the column structure with their data types. That is called the metadata, right? From there we can recover it. That is the advantage of external tables. Now here question would be sometimes is that yes, there is a good advantage of managed tables, external table. So every table will be my managed table, sorry, external table. No, because if you clearly observe here, in external there is another entity is there where you are storing all your metadata, right? So it will be a costly sometime because is this okay? This table has two columns. Let's say you have 1,000 columns. You are storing inside that, getting the data. So it will be a cost, right? Cost scenario also because you are storing somewhere. The storage is always is a costly things, right? So I would just say how we are picking in a project for the external versus the managed is if your data is critical, sensitive, then based on your capacity and whatever the budget you have, you will create some external table. Otherwise, just go with the managed table only. Because managed table is simple table only, just creates another table. We are not separately storing any metadata. Okay, so it depends like combination of managed and external. And in a project, we will find both kind of table, which is managed and external. And one more thing here, how we can understand which is a managed table and which is an external table, right? So for that, we can use this command, desk extended. Then we can put the table name here. Let's put the table name. Hopefully it will show me. This is the table. So it's not showing here. Another column is there. Yeah, sorry. I have the data. Now if you see here, the type, you see the type. This type is showing me the external. And where it is storing, the provider is Parquet and location is here. This is the where the metadata is getting stored. Make sense? Based on the desk extended, if you put the table name, then you will be able to see one type called external. It means that this is an external table. And if you say the other one, or the other table I have created, manage this one. Oh, I have dropped the table. Okay, let me create again. Oh, again I dropped it. No, right? It's there, right? Yeah. So let's try and understand this as well. So this was showing the this is external, right? I showed you. Now suppose I will say desk extended and this table, my next table. Okay. So here if I say let's say apart from that, there will be type will be here. It will be managed. Make sense?
Yes, Samir. Samir, one
Makes
more
sense.
doubt. Yeah, in
Hmm.
addition to this one, like what are the how many managed tables are there and what are those? Is there any possibility to display in
Hmm.
one shot? Like
No,
you
I
have
noticed.
created it, so you know it. So someone else has created it. I want to show. I want to check.
No, I don't. I don't think so. Anything is there. Apart from the show tables, I'm not seeing any command. Like it will show you only the manage table or the show the only the external tables. I don't think so. There is any command like that. Only thing is, this is the possibility. Like we need to see the description and see it whether it's internal or sorry, managed or external. And here you can see under this that you can see it. What are the table I have? Or maybe if you are maintaining a proper like naming structure, which is managed and which is external, then yes. Otherwise, there is no other way.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No from my end.
Okay. So here now, basically, let me start another service that I will just try to create it today. Then tomorrow we'll see the integration from there. So that
Eh,
services is good.
Yeah, Samir, one thing like in the metadata location, they have file got created it right in the snappy packet format
Yeah,
part
yeah,
with the naming convention. So, is
yeah.
there any possibility to rename this file?
No, this Parquet file is always partition wise, right? So it will be a
Yeah,
partition file one. There will be no renaming. So based on your the file size, it will create the number of partition. Like it will be first partition because file size is very less. If it is like let's take 1 GB file, it will create your own partition. So like that. Some MB files that's a partition. There is no renaming here.
yeah.
It will
Usually, we
create.
will
It
keep
will.
it like this in our real time
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because if you have this kind of files like the 5 to 10
Yeah.
files, then which file
That
is
yeah.
related to which table, we don't know it, right? That's why I'm just asking, is there any rename
No.
feature?
If this is deleted, then that is your problem, right? If some intentionally somebody deleted. And always the Parquet file always store as a partition file only, part 001, part 002. And we will not able to open it this file also. These are very secret files. Only thing is it should require a medium to read the file. Either it will be Spark, or Python or somewhere. We can just put the Parquet and it will read the data from whichever partition you want. Or if you are giving the directly the folder, so it will go there and it will read all the files, whatever the partition I have. Just read it and give it back to you. It's not like the normal Excel file, CSV file, where you can have the folder, just clever click on that and you start reading the file. No, it is not possible. That's why it is Parquet. Make sense?
Yes, Samir.
Okay. So now we are going to my homes here and we are creating a another service that is called your data factories. Click on the data factories. Okay. And you need to create this utility which is called the Azure Data Factory. So Azure Data Factory is something like if you want to schedule something. So I think I have done something on this one also. We done some scheduling, but the most scheduling will work. Whatever the like logic, notebook, everything you created on the Databricks. Finally, if you want to schedule it in a certain time period, then we need to use the utility called your data factory. Okay, so let's create data factory and let me go to the resource group and I need to give a name here. So what is the name I have given for this? DB practice underscore WPS. Okay, so I will say DB practice area. Okay, and origin could be my South India version. Let's go to V2 only. Okay, and next this part I'll explain you later. Okay, there is a Git configuration will be there. I will do later. I will not want to do Git in the sense you know the Git, right? What is the use of Git?
Don't know, Samir.
Okay, okay. So the GitHub. Have you heard about the GitHub
Yeah,
anytime?
I heard it, but I don't know much about it.
So GitHub is just like your version control. version control in the sense, suppose let's take, I will give a very real time example. Let's take on this notebook, there is a ask is on the particular, let's say this is a notebook where two developers are working. Let's take you, Anita, and both you are working here. And on a particular time, you come there and you write your own code here, okay, and you commit the changes. And when somebody other person comes up, right, how you will understand that these are the changes by done by whom or from where I will take the new file. Or suppose he don't want that changes to be reflected, he wants whatever the file it was there earlier. So those are the things can be possible in Git. That's called the GitHub, where you have a version. So last changes made by this guy. If you don't want that changes, you can just overwrite or delete it. So this kind of thing can be possible through the GitHub. Okay. So same thing is happening. We are storing a GitHub of my Azure Data Factory that I will show you how we can integrate that, but that's not the right time. Now let's go to the next here. Networking is fine. My public endpoint. This is also looks good. Tags no required. And finally it is review and creating. Create. Okay. Now let me go to my which is my resource from here. You know the resource name. Mm, I have db faxes rg. Okay, if we go to my db faxes rg, I have my Databricks, I have my storage, I have my Azure keyboard, then finally I have my data factory, right? So if this is the way the resource group holds, there could be multiple resource group, but under the one resource group, see, I have captured everything. This is my storage, this is my keyboard which we created, this is my Databricks services, and this is my data factory, right? So let's click on the data factory here and launch. It will create another utility. Just like the database it open up, it will open up the Azure Data Factory as well. So this is the data factory looks like. Okay. So setup code repository will later we'll do it. We'll do it. Now if I expand this, there are multiple things will be there. One is your home button. It will show you just all the things. If you click on the author, there are multiple things we can create. We'll do it. So we'll create pipelines, you can create your data flow, all these things. Monitor is something like if some pipeline or the something is running, you can monitor it from here. Like what time, all these things. If there any error is there, all these things you can do it from here. And manage is something like we can create your own like integration runtime, all these things. We will see that. So multiple things are there in this case. I think we will start it from tomorrow. This one I can show you how we can. First, I will show you how we can work with Azure Data Factory by creating some simple flows. Then I will integrate with the Databricks. Right. So once it is done, then we will discuss about the incremental load. Then Unity catalog on the Databricks side, because there are we saw. I think if I go to my workspace here and data ingestion, we have seen multiple things like not this one, sorry, inputs. We have seen the access keys, SAS, service principles, mount, all these principles we discussed. But now in the market, there are two ways it will work. One is a service principal way, that we saw it, and another one is a new one, very new, that is called your Unity Catalog. So that Unity Catalog way, I will show you how you can integrate the database. Okay, that makes sense. I think I am done for today.